Hey there guys, PC Guy here, and with the new year starting, it's the time to, look at what the year is going to bring us and what exactly we can expect in 2020 as far as technology goes, be it computers or otherwise. I apologize in advance for any loud bangs you might hear. People are throwing fireworks out there because of the whole new year stuff, so yeah, not much I can do about that. In any case, it is the best time to look forward, see what we can hopefully expect of 2020, and what exactly are we going to get that we know already and what we hope we'll be able to see throughout the year? For starters, there's going to be CES from 7 to 10 of January. It's the Consumer Electronics Show. It's hosted in Las Vegas. So it's just about a week from now. So we'll definitely be having some pretty sizable amounts of content to talk about, because there is quite a bit that we are expecting to see there. Something that's pretty much a guarantee at this point is the Radeon 5600 XT from AMD. It's pretty much confirmed, it's pretty much granted that it's going to be either announced or just flat out released at CES, or if not, then very shortly after, because we do know for sure that that card is coming, so that's even hardly anything that I should mention at this point. From AMD, the things worth mentioning right now for CES we are probably going to be seeing a preview, or at least a presentation, on the Zen 3 architecture and upcoming Ryzen 4000 series. They are expected to be launching around midway through the year, so I'm expecting something like last year when they were announced at CES and then further launched in July for just general purchase. So I'm expecting the same to happen this year for the next generation. The latest that I read today were quoting an IPC increase of at least 17%, and that's at least. So it has the potential to even go a little bit higher before the release, and that would just kick it out of the park. And that's not even talking about any potential increases in clock speed and other optimizations, just pure IPS. We're going to be talking about 17% increase. It's also going to be manufactured on 7nm EUV, which is more efficient than the 7nm that they're currently using. Not so much in how it runs, but more efficient in terms of pricing, and it will be cheaper for AMD to produce them. This means that ideally we could see them for even cheaper, but in practice, considering there's no competition from Intel, kind of doubtful. I don't think they will really lower the price by that much. Graphics cards wise, it's a bit up in the air what we're going to see. RDNA 2 cards are expected sometime this year, but the rumors have been kind of scarce. At least as far as PC hardware goes, we know that they're probably going to be fueling the consoles, but it's not even that sure. So while I do hope we hear something, and I really sorely hope that they have something good in the works graphics cards wise, not really gonna bet on that just yet. And I'll add that to the list of what I was going to mention after CES, that I hope that they do bring high-end competition to Nvidia this year. Speaking of Nvidia, I don't know what to expect from them this year at CES, to be honest. I know that Ampere is in the works. I've heard that it is potentially delayed. I've heard good things about what it actually does in performance and pricing. However, they rumor that it will be delayed until later in the year. Kind of makes me think that we're not going to see a whole lot of Nvidia at CES unless they want to give us a sneak peek, or unless the fact that it is delayed is actually not accurate and they are on track for halfway through the year or a Q3 release or something like that. From Intel, there's not a whole lot to expect. We do know that they have their DG1 graphics cards, basically the entry level of their graphics cards already filed for certifications and stuff like that. So we might see some sort of presentation or even a demonstration on that, or possibly even a release date. But it's not really nothing to write home about, because the performance of this card will be quite lacking. It's comparable to integrated GPUs on the Tiger Lake series. So yeah, don't expect too much there other than perhaps some previews. What we definitely can expect is some participation from the consoles, because it's not only about PC. CES is not only a computer technology show, it is just technology in general, be it computers or otherwise. So consoles are also going to be present. Both Xbox and PlayStation 5 will probably be teased or demonstrated, or you name it. there's going to be a lot of other details that we're going to be able to see there. So yeah, we've seen a trailer for Godfall for PS5 already, a gameplay trailer. Not the longest, not the best video quality, but it has appeared, so it is safe to assume that further details will be shown at CES. How many or how deep those details go, we'll have to wait and see. But the consoles are both scheduled to release at the end of next year, so yeah, it's normal that a few more details are going to be starting to show up for the official channels. Should probably have mentioned on the Intel segment that I did that their CPUs are kind of already being leaked out, at least if those leaks are accurate, then, well, not a whole lot to talk about Intel this year unless they come up with some announcements for the generation after the 10th generation. So for the 10th generation, what we know already, or supposedly know, I should say, is that they are going to be allowing hyperthreading in basically everything, which they could have done all along and given us a better performance for our price, but no, they had to milk us and just allow hyperthreading on the higher tier of CPUs because they could and now they can't anymore. So yeah, this is how it works, guys. In any case, we are seeing a core increase on the 10, well, let me think for a second, that's a lot of numbers, 10900X, I suppose. So that's the successor of the 9900X. That's going to be a 10-core, 20-thread CPU with a boost clock of 5.3. It's a new type of boost clock, so it's not a boost clock as we know it now. Now the question is, while that number looks nice, how long can it hold that boost clock and how exactly are we going to cool it? Because they have also abandoned the pretense of their CPUs having a 95 watt TDP, so they're not really announcing it anymore. And if they're not announcing it as 95 watt TDP anymore, that means that they are going to have a actual TDP a lot higher than that, and probably higher than the current generation. So we're probably going to need quite a good cooler to run those CPUs at the boost clocks that you were expecting there. Now the alternative is that they are maybe not very overclockable. Way too early to tell. Apologies for that. Way too early to tell about overclocking potential, but the heat is probably going to be quite an issue for those unless they really pull off some good solder, unlike the 9900K, etc. Nothing much changes, slightly higher clocks. The hyperthreading, like I said, is available across the board. Other than that, nothing really to write home about, and nothing that really holds a candle to Ryzen, to be honest, especially not with Zen 3 fast approaching, and if the rumors about the IPC are true, then Intel CPUs are going to be just dead in the water. A whole lot of other developments in technology, not only in the PC and gaming scene, but in things from like smartphones, like TVs. I expect to see a whole lot of 8K TVs. That format is getting more and more popular as the hardware becomes powerful enough to drive that sort of resolutions. So are those TVs getting a lot more popular. I expect to see a whole lot of that. Also expect to see a lot of high refresh rate monitors. Asus has already launched a 280 Hz IPS, I believe, monitor. So the monitor technology is also improving quite a lot, quite rapidly, which is nice. And lets the more entry-level or more budget-conscious of us, let's say, enjoy a bit higher resolutions and refresh rates as well, since the hardware can now drive that also on the budget and middle range, which is pretty great. Fans, coolers, all that sort of stuff bound to be announced and revealed at CES. There's usually some quite interesting stuff right there, so I am quite hoping for some nice cases, both good looking and practical in terms of airflow, because that's lacking in a lot of cases, especially the ones designed to be more show model-y, with an honorable mention for the Lian Li PCO11 Dynamic. That's a pretty great case, which I've been eyeing out, to be quite honest. But yeah, hopefully, and this is... Actually, I'm kind of done with CES, so let's move on from my wish list to 2020 and if it's actually likely or not. Now, my wish list for 2020 is very basically, you can sum it up in just one concept, which is for both CPU and GPU sides to actually have competition. Not just competition as in one company overtaking the other completely, like we are seeing now with AMD and Intel, but actually neck to neck, where the competition is close enough that they both force each other down in price and up in performance. Because what we're seeing right now with Intel and AMD is not beneficial in the long run, because what we're going to see is AMD starting to price gouges like Intel was, and then at a certain point Intel is going to recover and do what AMD is doing now, and then the roles are just going to keep reversing like that. If they're at the same level-ish, obviously one will always be slightly better than the other, then the true competition will be beneficial for us in terms of pricing and performance. And I wish for that to happen as well on the GPU market, where it is sorely needed, especially on the high end. Because even though we have heard a lot of rumors that Ampere is going to be cheaper on the high end than the current generation, now we're also hearing rumors that because of the new generation consoles using DDR6, or well, GDDR6 I should call it, then that shortage is going to reflect on the prices of graphics cards that use GDDR6, which is basically everything, including Nvidia's Ampere. So the price drops that we were expecting might actually not really come to pass because of the GDDR6. And you can bet your little behind that they are going, if GDDR6, let's say, climbs up $20 in price, they're going to chalk it up to $60 extra and tell us that it's because of GDDR6, while they are still pocketing the under 40 that are not in any way, shape, or form related to that increase, just to justify not lowering the price, because that's how companies will work when they are on top, undisputed. So that is why I hope that AMD will rise up to the Nvidia levels in terms of performance and actually give us something worth getting at the high end. And I say AMD because I don't count on Intel doing that, at least not in the next 2, 3, 4 years. They have a lot of catching up to do to actually deliver a product on that level, and they need to actually still deliver anything at this point, at whatever level, and I expect them to start from the bottom and work their way to the top if they are going to keep trying to do a discrete graphics card. My other point on the wish list is something that I quite frankly have almost given up on at this point, which is a unified RGB standard, both in terms of software compatibility, as in you're using one software that can run any company's hardware, and also in terms of connectivity as far as connectors and headers go. That's something that would make everyone's life so much easier. I know people out there, some of people just hate the whole RGB thing and want no part of it at all. But for the ones that do, it does open a lot of possibilities aesthetics-wise. It doesn't have to be rainbow puke. It can be a solid white light. You can just be color cycling slowly, or you name it, whatever. In any case, the freedom to choose from whatever company according to performance and not according to, oh yeah, it has that connector and it's supported by that software, that would make everything a lot easier. And also things like the double, having two cables from a fan, is that really necessary? Can we not come up with just one standard connector that will carry both lighting and PWM signals and power and that sort of stuff? I'm pretty sure it would be possible. It definitely would be possible. Would it require cooperation between all those brands? Yeah. Would it happen overnight? No. But at this point, we are not really seeing any steps being taken to alleviate, let's say, both the cable clutter that we are seeing for fans, AIOs, all that sort of stuff, or the practice of trying to lock you into a specific ecosystem, and then if you change your mind later on, it's so much more difficult to switch from one brand to another because all your other components are from that connectivity, let's say, and then you buy a piece from some other brand and suddenly it does not connect, and you're juggling 2 or 3 different types of light control programs, and they often don't play well with each other, and you're going to be facing a ton of crashes, issues, having to reinstall, troubleshoot, and you might never even get it to work. So yeah, that's definitely on my wish list, even though I don't have a lot of hope of it happening in the near future, if ever. On a more personal note, as far as the channel, etc. goes, my wish list for 2020 is pretty simple. To just keep growing at least the rate that it has been growing, which I'm pretty happy with, and trying to get our subscriber base to at least a couple, let's say 1,000 for a start, I will already be quite happy with. We as a channel, and I mean I, have been doing decently well for a channel that started not so long ago. I would like to think that it has improved over the months, also quality-wise. Just recently got this microphone, which I hope you guys enjoy more than the headset that I was previously doing, and hopefully that trend will continue. However, not only for those improvements, but also to actually be able to have more hands-on content for you guys, it would really help to have a bit of a higher subscriber base, which is why I perhaps annoyingly at each video ask people to subscribe if they enjoy the content, because that really helps getting, for example, brand support, review samples, that sort of stuff. That all really helps, because as you can imagine, getting every single CPU out there for reviewing is not feasible when you're not a professional channel. And yeah, it's difficult to break into that circle, so to speak, and start getting that kind of support. But once you're in there, your growth also accelerates because you have more and better worthwhile content out there. So that's definitely what I would hope for the next year, is that at least subscriber base wise it grows a little bit, and as well as regular viewer base of people that just keep watching videos when they come out and not just one and then never watch anything again. That's really something that I look forward to building, and hopefully with you guys' help that will come true. Whether that happens or not, I will definitely keep doing my best to provide you guys with the best content that I can within the limitations that we have. And, well, I'll do my best to make it happen and try to get some brands involved, try to get some review samples. I know it's a very, very long shot considering how small the channel is, but doesn't hurt to try and at least get in someone's radar, or at least hope to. So with that said, I think that pretty much sums it up for the video. Thank you guys for watching. Drop a comment and a like on the video if you enjoyed it. That really helps pump up the YouTube algorithm to give some more visibility to the video, and more views always help the channel. If you enjoy the content and would like to see the channel grow and become better and bigger, consider subscribing, or, well, sharing a few links for some videos you like somewhere other that people might enjoy and might bring more people. That would really help us. And like I said, it's all to help improve the quality of content and give better stuff for you guys. So thanks for watching. Hope I'll see you guys in the next video, and have fun. And I'll do my best to cover CES and the news in an adequate manner.